All right. All right, everybody, welcome to December 19th, Thursday night. I'm coming to you from beautiful Arizona. Thank you for hopping on. I know it's a super busy time of year and a lot of people have a lot of things going on, but grateful you guys are taking a few minutes to be with us here today. I'm excited to share with you this information. My name is Dr. Brett Brimhall. I live in the Phoenix area. I spent the last 25 years teaching and training physicians all over Canada, Europe, and the United States. I've worked with multiple nutritional companies, helping my dad formulate nutrition and teaching physicians and other healthcare providers on what a system called the 6 Steps to Wellness. And I really thought that's what I do most of my life because I love teaching people. I love helping them find ways to get their health back physically and mentally. And so I was introduced to LifeVantage actually through a client. I was referred a client from Iowa because I had trained her with the protocols that we use. And the mom and this little boy came to see me. He was diagnosed at 2 with autism. And in autism, his life looked a lot like, 25 to 30 plus hours of therapy a week. Struggling in school. I met him at 3, worked with him every week for a year until he was 4. And he was still struggling with verbally, still in diapers, still struggling with behavior and learning, and even came in not too far previously where he actually told his mom, I just want to be smart like my brother. And that really broke my heart because I thought I've done everything I possibly knew. I'm the one that's supposed to be helping people that nobody could help because that's what I did. And I didn't have any more answers. And shortly thereafter, that his mom was at the pre-launch of Axio, which many of you guys learn what that is if you don't know what it is. And she started him on it because she heard from the Dr. Gordon, who was presenting at that time, that this was truly liquid brain food and we all should be on it. So she started her son on it and her whole family. And literally 11 days in, he came in to see me, had the best day he'd ever had. He actually stayed on my table the whole time. He didn't go and destroy my needles, pull my needles out, my acupuncture needles, and do other things in my room. He literally went back out after we were done and was remembering things that we'd been working with him on for over the whole past year. And I had never seen something that massive of a shift happen with anything I'd done. And that was the only change that had happened. And I'll kind of fill you in the rest of the story a little later, but that was the beginning of my journey, that what was out there, this whole concept of nutrigenomics and the way products are made absolutely matters, because of that, this little boy was able to express more of the life that it is. It didn't change his brain from a structural standpoint, but it changed the functionality of his brain. And so we're going to boil this concept down into the 3 theories of aging through this process of nutrigenomics. So nutrigenomics is just that. It's nutrition and genes and how they interrelate. And we're going to talk about theories because there's multiple theories that people have about why we age and maybe why we don't function well. And this is super important because LifeVantage is at the forefront of that. And we're going to use technology as a way to tap into the body's ability to heal and repair the way it was designed to heal. As a chiropractor, we truly believe the body can heal itself. We need to remove the interference so that it absolutely can. And we need to give the body what it needs so it can perform the function like it's supposed to. Okay, so LifeVantage is a publicly traded company. It's been around since 2005. It's in 2003, but it actually started network marketing in 2009. Because of an ABC investigative report that was done, it was aired on ABC primetime. It was the positive news spot. It caught attention from around the globe, and literally the company at the time went where over $5 million in orders came in. Most of those went unfulfilled because it was a company ran by scientists, not people that understood marketing, and so they missed this giant opportunity to capture all those leads. So in 2009, it switched distribution methods to network marketing. And from 2009 to present, we grew from a $10 million company to now a $250 million company. And I kind of fill you in the gaps of what's happened since then. Now, because of that ABC news spot, if you have not seen that, you can go to what's called biohackandactivate.com and you can look at the videos and links to the studies. If you have not seen that, please go and look at that either later tonight or soon thereafter, and then get back with the person that invited you to let them know what you think. So this is a slide that depicts some of the universities around the world that have looked at Protandim NRF2 specifically and studied in relationship to different conditions, all right? Now, like American Heart Association did a study looking at reduced fibrosis. That led to another study about heart disease in Ohio State. When have you ever been able to talk about a dietary supplement that's literally been published by the American Heart Association? I don't know of another one. Okay, so much so that the studies that have happened with this product done by independent universities, has over 25 plus studies on a place called PubMed.gov. And you can go and look those up, right? So much so that drug companies are trying to do or make products to do what this does. Okay, so we're going to the 3 theories of aging, and this is why this is important. No matter who you are, you're aging, whether that's fast or slow. And the result of aging feels differently in everybody. For some of us, that might feel like I just can't think as well, or I don't perform as well. My energy is not the same. I don't sleep as well, or I feel like my joints don't move as well, or it feels like my skin doesn't look as young as it used to be. The plasticity is gone. Or it can be that I just don't handle emotional stress the same. So one of those is related to what's called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is literally like rust. So in metal, the oxidative process is called rusting. And in us as humans, we call that oxidation. So that happens if you breathe. Now it speeds up based upon how much stress you put on your system. And depending on the part of the body that stress cannot be repaired, it's given a name. For instance, in the heart, they might call it hypertension or heart disease, or in the eyes, it might call macular degeneration or cataracts. That's the process of oxidative stress. And over time, if that can't repair, eventually medicine gives it a name. But the system that controls oxidative stress is the repair system. So we want to know a better way to affect how in which our body can heal and repair. All right. So what we have is protandim NRF2 to affect the system that activates this sequence in our body known as NRF2 activation. So what protandim does is the only dietary supplement proven in clinical studies to reduce the oxidative stress in humans by an average of 40% in 30 days. All right. At the same time, it helps upregulate survival genes. Now, this was a brand new concept. So many of you know that we've all had to communicate in the past. All of us try to communicate. We used to be years ago, right? Pony Express, and then it went to eventually to email, and now with texting. We have all these different technologies like these cell phones, and those allow us to communicate differently. So what happened when the discovery of this NRF2 happened and protandim NRF2 was developed, it was a better way to turn on that system. So instead of giving the body antioxidants like vitamin C, zinc, selenium, proanthocyanins, grapeseed extracts, things of that nature, you can literally turn on the switch that controls the mechanism for your body to manufacture these big enzymes. Now, this is super important because I want to make sure that I can do what's going to give me the most benefit, right? If we're going to go to work, right, we're going to get the most done in the least amount of time, the most effective way. So protandim NRF2 works because of the combination of herbs that are in it and how they work together to activate that switch, okay? So here's a slide depicting just that. So you can look up what's in protandim NRF2. It's 5 plant extracts, right? When they look at those individual ones, they activate or turn on this switch. Think of like a light bulb. They turn on the light bulb switch to control the body's ability to repair. Each of them do it a little bit. When you combine them together, it's literally 18 times more effective. And we'll come back to this because this switch we're going to talk about a little bit later. So this was a brand new concept in the understanding of, hey, it does matter. Not only the ingredients matter, but how you put those ingredients also matter. Because if you put them together in the right way, in the right ratios, and the right type, magic happens. Okay, it turns on those switches. And we know that same thing true whether it's in a sports team or it's a team of people. Right people in the right place at the right time can create magic. All right. So this switch, specifically protandim NRF2, has been talked about by Washington State as the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Now, why would they say that? Why would Washington State hang the reputation on that? Because this switch inside of our body is really, you'll see it up in that print just above that blue. NRF2 is a master regulator of detoxification and also antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and cytoprotective mechanism. So it's a giant deal. It's talking about, so I like to look at it as the repair mechanism of the cell. So what if you could just repair faster on the inside, right? By activating this switch. That's what this, and it's a very effective way. We all know we should exercise, we know we should eat good, we know we should sleep well, right? But what I found is people can be mostly 100% taking a supplement. They're not always 100% sleeping well. They're not always 100% eating well. But most of us can be 100% by taking and activating these switches every single day. Okay. So this study, it looks at specifically, since there is these, since there are these switches, NRF2, okay? And there's certain things that activate it. Why wouldn't a drug company figure out a way to do it? Well, they would. There's a drug called BG12 or Tecfidera. It also activates by turning on the switch. I think of it like a key to turn on the switch. So there's a drug, BG12 Tecfidera, broccoli seed extract specifically turned on that switch, and then Protandim. And so this study was done by the company, company Biogenix, that is a company that developed the drug Tecfidera. So they did the research, the drug company did. And at the end of the research, what they're looking for is which NRF2 activator was the most effective in activating that. And specifically in relationship to protecting what's called oligodendrocytes, which are your nerve cells, right? So everybody has nerve cells. Well, here's what the study said. Interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be most suited at a therapeutic strategy. And then importantly, NRF2 mediated antioxidant enzyme expression in oligocytes resulted in enhanced oligocyte survival during oxidative attack. What that means is that when these cells, these nerve cells were given stress to basically cause them to be damaged, that NRF2 helps protect those nerve cells, and Protandim was the most effective one. That drug, guys, was over a $12 billion drug last year, right? And this was published in the Multiple Sclerosis Journal. So that's awesome, right? But how does that translate into humans? Like, I love studies, and here's the fact. What we're using currently in medicine is about 17 years behind research. That's just how it goes. So what we're learning in school and what we're using in clinical practice is about 17 years behind research, unless you're staying current on research, right? So there are people that need this information now, right? So what does MS look like, okay? So depending what tissue is involved is how somebody's gonna feel. And so we don't ever wanna be a drug, right? Because as humans, we just wanna feel and function well. So imagine somebody that can't pick up their child. Imagine somebody that can't see well. Imagine somebody that can't drive at night anymore. Imagine someone that has to be in a wheelchair. Imagine somebody that their kids have to help take care of them. They're really their best functioning. They get about 2 hours of functioning in a day. That can happen when the nerve cells get damaged to a point that they just don't function well. I've watched individuals that I've worked on for over 10 to 15 years that their bodies started repairing differently when they became activated to this NRF2 pathway and the other pathway we're going to discuss, where their bodies are now doing things that I would not expect them to be able to do, to where their functionality is drastically improved, to where they're able to function throughout the whole day. They've been able to get to a healthy weight. They've been able to have better functioning where they can just, their vision, where they can see and they can drive and perform normal functions like driving in the evening, taking care of their normal functions every day. I've seen that happen as their body became activated. And I was giving them a lot of nutrition, vitamins and minerals. They were good, right? They were good building blocks, but we didn't know how to turn that switch. So now we know that our switches, we want to find a way to turn on. That opened up a concept to other switches that are out there. So we talked about the NRF2 switch is literally the repair switch. Another switch is known as the NRF1 switch. NRF1 is the switch that controls the energy production of your cells, all right? So they're a little organelle on our cells called mitochondria. So think of them like the power plants. These power plants are literally what the body has to have working well in order to make energy. And when your body makes energy, there's certain things that happen. For instance, you're going to have just better peak performance, right? It's going to help protect your chromosomes. It's going to help your mitochondria make that energy, okay? It's going to allow your body to do more of what it's designed to do. So if that is a muscle cell, that muscle can perform its tasks more effectively and repair and recover faster, right? So there'd be less soreness, right? If it has to do with a relationship to just, mental energy, as your mind energy works better, you'll be able to, the focus and concentration and stamina would be better, right? So this is a picture that describes the mitochondria. And what you're seeing more and more is there's a huge amount of research being poured into mitochondrial dysfunction as it relates to all sorts of human conditions. Here's just some of them, right? From epilepsy to Parkinson's to Alzheimer's to diabetes, all these are being linked directly to mitochondrial dysfunction. So again, we have a system that's underperforming. And so if it underperforms long enough and damage occurs, it's given a name, right? So what we want to do is we want to take people and help their system function more optimally so their mitochondria function better so they can perform those normal tasks that they want better. And now we don't have to guess about which product works. We just know, okay, we're activating that switch. So we're not trying to just say, hey, mitochondria, what do you need? Like what ingredients you need? We want to give you the ingredients. We want to make sure that the mixing bowl is turned on, the oven works, so that everything is made together like it's supposed to, and it works like it's supposed to. So we're not guessing if this key works. We know this key is activating the NRF1 pathway because it's been tested. Okay. Then there's a protandem NAD synergizer. So the body without NAD, it cannot make energy, and it drastically drops after you're 20, and you have to have NAD to live. Has to be there. Right? What they found that when your body has appropriate NAD, you have better mental focus and concentration, better mood and better motivation, more mental and physical energy. It supports the normal inflammatory response. Okay. It helps maintain normal cholesterol levels, and it supports a healthy vascular system. Now, I'm going to show you a slide that really sums all this together up. Okay. So literally the NAD, literally what it does, it activates a molecule known as sirtuins. And I'm going to boil this down to where it makes it much simpler. Okay, sirtuins are these molecules that really relate to how well the body is healing, performing. It's really the communication system. So the way I look at NRF2 is the repair system. The way I look at NRF1 is the energy system. The way I look at the protandem NAD, that is the communication systems. All right. So all those things want to work together to get maximum effect. What we know about protandem NAD synergizer, it literally upregulates the sirtuins by 100% in 24 hours. Now, why is that important? Because the only other way that science knows right now to activate it drastically is by caloric restriction. What that means is you're decreasing your calories by 40 to 60%. So there's not a lot of people that are going to do that long term, but there's huge health benefits by reducing that caloric restriction because it increases the sirtuins. Protandem NAD in 24 hours increases the sirtuin by 100%. The competitor we show here is one that's what's called giving somebody the precursor. So they could have it a factory, right? And you're just going to put more materials in. But no matter how much material you put into that factory, you can only make so many products at the end based upon the speed of the factory. All right. So whatever that limiting step is that controls how well that system works will determine how much end products you get. Right. So when you put more things into the system, it's not always going to equal more output, unless you're activating the system where all systems are working more efficiently to make more. Okay, here's where this all comes together. So the question would be, well, which one's most important? Well, this study is done looking at cells, and we want to say, well, how much really is this affecting what's called the nutrigenomics, or the upregulation or the optimization of specific switches in the body that control aging or the aging response. So this particular gene sequence, and some of you guys have heard about 23andMe, this gene response controls antioxidants and detoxification. Okay, so it's what relates to that. So when the cells were given protandem NRF2, it literally increased that system effectiveness by 40%. But when you combine all three, the protandem NRF2, NRF1, and the NAD, it went from 40% to almost 80%. Okay, then the same thing is true with this gene, an inflammatory response gene. Just with protandem NRF2, it increased it by 51%, which we've always said reduced oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. That's what it's shown in the human clinical study, 51% in the cell culture. And when you combine all three, it went up to 848%. And the same thing applied to the NRF1 in looking at the regulation, the metabolic genes, and the mitochondrial biogenesis, which is making new mitochondria. Again, in and of itself, the protandem NRF1 worked super effectively. But again, look at the effect of that tri-synergizer. When you combine all three, same thing happened with the NAD and gene response. Okay, with the protandem NAD, 12% to 128%, 12% to literally 227%. Now, why is that? So think about just in a normal society, if you could have the repair systems of the society working better, the energy system of the society working better, and the communication systems of the society working together, how much more effectively would we all work? Or even in your own house, right? The repair, the energy, and the communication. Blended together, that's what we call the tri-synergizer. That's why we're no longer addressing or chasing symptoms, we're addressing systems, and the systems that work together. And I don't know of another company out there that's literally looking at how do we combine not only individual ingredients to affect gene response, but how do we combine individual products to affect gene response together, right? Powerful. Okay, so going back just slightly to what LifeVantage is doing is they're looking for ways to find better methods to help us to perform our normal daily tasks so we can express more full life. So this is the product that caught my attention because I literally watched this little boy unfold in front of my after doing everything that I knew. This is my nephew's handwriting on the left, okay? Before he started the Proton NRF2 and the Axial, okay, 2 weeks after his body started having this activation response through nutrigenomics, that's his handwriting on the right. Now, I didn't even know this was going on, but this little boy, he struggled. He struggled in school. He had to stay in at recess. He didn't play nice with others, just struggled, right? You know, one of those kids that was last in the class to get done, right? And very frustrated with himself and others. So he went from one of those kids being the last in the class to recess to one of the first kids in the class done where he could go to recess, because we were able to find a way to activate his body differently, right? So that's what LifeVantage is. They're looking, what are the unique places we can combine this technology of nutrigenomics and apply it to places that where we need it to affect people's ability to function and perform. Here's another picture that little boy was telling you about that came in and I worked with. Okay, he's number 18. Okay, this was me working with him every week for a year. And this is based on letter recognition, okay, both sound and sight. He was at the bottom of his class. Okay, 6 months later, they retested him. The only difference that had been made is that he was taking the Axial, okay, and combine it with the NRF2. He went to the top of his class. So what we know is some of us out there, probably most of us, not all, are underperforming, not because we don't have amazing brains, amazing bodies, it's literally because we aren't being activated, right? So they've applied this same technology through probiotics to a time release function, and it's huge. Everybody needs to be on a probiotic, but the effectiveness is vastly different. I was using 3 products to do what this one does, because this one allows us to be 60% more effective, okay? They've applied these technologies from hair care to skin care to weight management to omega-3 fatty acids to pet care. So you're applying nutrigenomics inside the body, outside the body, and put it on your body to help your body change in the functionality the way you want it to. Now, I love the fact that LifeVantage has continued to make new products to apply that, because all of us are using skincare and hair care, but it wasn't nutrigenomic before. Was it active before? No. Those of you that have pets, were you giving them supplements or some kind before? Possibly, right? But were they designed to activate the gene responses? Probably not. Or weight management, designed again to work together with all the products, but designed to the process of activation. Okay, so why am I here? Because I mean, I never expected I would do network marketing. I had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and she said, I've tried network marketing before, it didn't work for me. I understand that, because I just didn't want to be one of those. And I think all of us, a lot of us have this negative connotation of a lot of things, but network marketing is simply a business, just like traditional business, just like corporate. There's good, positives about and bad about every single one. So it's not wish marketing, it's network marketing. It takes work, it takes time, it takes dedication. But the reason why I am here is because there are things that happened in my life that made me open to the opportunity. So whoever invited you here wants you to look at all those things, because it's going to take work, whether you want to work on this or you want to work on traditional business, when you work for somebody else. It's all work. We're all trading something, okay? So when I introduced this, I really wasn't totally looking, right? I had been looking, but I was looking for ways to leverage my time and my income to where it wasn't so tied to me. But I didn't know it would come in this form. So when I saw the results I saw in that little boy, when I saw the results in other clients of mine that I'd worked with for years, I knew the products I was going to naturally share, but I make less on these per bottle than I did in the traditional products that I'd use, okay? So what really got me looking at this is having people help me understand the business model. Carrie Williams, the one that enrolled me in this, and she helped me understand the business model, helped me ask me a lot of questions, put me in front of people to help me understand what this was. On top of that, I ended up breaking my knee playing basketball. So for the first time in my life, I thought, what if I couldn't practice? How would I take care of my family, right? I always thought I'd go and teach and train for other people, because I'd done that for years. But there are twice in 20 years that we'd done that, and that income went away overnight with my dad for the second time when the company he was working for let him go. So I knew I didn't want to spend another 20 years. And I looked at those that had enrolled me in this and others that she'd introduced me to, and that they had spent, anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 years and had now this income that wasn't tied to them. So what I want you to know about network marketing, it works. It's all a matter, are you working? Is it worth it? So when it comes to this business, timing is an important element to that, which just means how many people know about this. I truly think LifeVantage is making products that are absolute game changers that most companies don't even know that they're supposed to make like that yet. On top of that, most people are doing with supplementation, which is what I've done for years. And we're moving to a new model of nutrigenomics and activation. So when the masses begin to understand that, we're going to move from the early adapters, which is where we are now, to early majority to late majority, and capture a huge amount of people that love products but want to have science validation behind it, but also want to have products that are tested and proven and are based on new science and new technology. Okay. So you get to choose what level of biohacking you want. So you can do the Tri-Synergizer, Vitality Stack, Ultimate Stack, or any individual ones. And as a business, the customer or distributor pay the exact same price for the product, okay, which is beautiful. But if you say, you know what, how does the business work, right? Because wouldn't it be nice to be able to naturally share information and be able to make money doing it, okay? So that's what network marketing is, right? And then helping other people have success. So if you're looking at, if you're having this conversation with me here and you're listening to me and say, you know what, I can think about people I really think would benefit from that. You're already thinking like a distributor, okay? And so you want to choose what pack makes sense. There's a silver, gold, or platinum pack that are all based upon the volume of product you get. The bigger the pack, the bigger the discount. And that's a one-time investment, right? So when I think about how much money I paid for my practice, I paid about $500,000 for my practice, let alone what I paid for my education. When I started LifeVantage, I chose the platinum pack. So for really a $1,200 investment, I started a business that I didn't have to pay any overhead on other than what the product, my product tasting. I had a huge, wonderful business write-off. And now everything I use for myself and my car is now part of my business, right? So the question becomes, how do you make money back at this? And really it's a matter of sharing the information. So this business, like any other business, people have to know what it is. And what are we sharing? We're consultants about people's health and say, here's some things that might be beneficial to you. If you're interested in the product, which one makes sense to you? But I'm looking for teammates, right, that want to work together to share this information, to move these products through a distribution network. And the bigger that network gets, the more impact we're going to make in people's lives and the more income that's going to create in our family. There's multiple ways you get paid, but when you look at the pay structure of network marketing, the people that make the most money are the ones that share the most and can help other people have the most success, right? And the comp plan, the way LifeVantage has designed it, is just that. As you bring people in, you make money. As you help your organization grow, you make money. As you help other people that you brought in grow, they make money, and so do you. And the community of LifeVantage is awesome because they literally have a compensation plan designed to reward top leaders to let everybody come to anybody's meetings. So many people on this call right now, they aren't directly in my organization, but because of the elite bonus pool, it really doesn't matter. We share a small percentage of the work done throughout the world. What a unique opportunity and blessing that is, okay? So the question becomes, like, is this company real? Well, it's a publicly traded company, so you can look it up. They get to ring the bell here actually just next week because we're on the NASDAQ. How cool is that? The stocks are higher than it's ever been since I've been involved in 5 years. It's awesome. But this is the income disclosure sheet. So you can look this up so you can know what real people make, right? And it's based upon the volume that goes to your group. So a Pro 3 is someone that has a $5,000 in volume going to your group. So on average, they make $636 of residual, of leveraged income. So leveraged income is work based on the past. Talking to a friend of mine today, she's a Pro 5. She's had some crazy life things happen, and her check has not gone down. It stayed the same, actually gone up slightly the last few months when life's gone crazy. In her traditional business, had that taken place, her check would not have gone up, it would have gone down. So if we can build it and we can help other people have success and that continues to happen, your income can stay consistent. She's a Pro 5. Pro 5 is 20,000 volume going to your group. Average Pro 5 makes almost $3,000 a month. I'm a Pro 7 with the company. I've been involved 5 years. I hit this in 3 years. Average Pro 7 makes about just over $12,000. Okay, you don't have to be a physician to do this. Actually, it's better if you're not, because people think they have to be like you. So the person that enrolled me, she's a Pro 9 with the company. Okay, she's a Bath and Body Works store manager. Okay, she makes well over $50,000 a month because of her leverage and her ability to teach and train and help other people have success. Top leaders of the company making well over $100,000 a month. So where else can that happen? Okay, in summary, here's what I'd like to tell you is from a scientific validation and where I am and how I see nutritional supplementation and the benefits. I talked to several people today that are going through major health crises. And I'm just grateful to have these products to let them use them as part of their plan to help their body perform as God designed it to. So grateful for that. At the same time, as I think about people going through these major health crises or life crises, so many of them would love to have built an income that would be there so that they didn't have to go to work every single day because they'd already built that. And that's what network marketing allows. It is a business. It is work. It takes sacrifice, and it takes time, right? But with the intentionality and working like that, you can build something that's there for years and years to come. So then when life happens, you can be with those you love and care about, and your business can grow with you, even with you not being there. So great if you guys hopped on. I know many of you guys might have some questions. So please get back to the person that invited you to this. Just get your question answered. Yes, it's the end of the year, but you're going to meet all sorts of people you don't see any other time of year. And we're starting a brand new decade. Really, you're going to 2020. So talk about an opportunity to really look at what do I want with my health? What do I want with my finances? What do I want with my family? And say, you know what, if where I'm at right now, what I'm doing right now is not getting me where I want to be and where I expect to be, then we need to make some changes. So thanks to you for hopping on. You guys have a fantastic Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year.